Good evening, everyone who is showing up tonight for Passion Profit Live. My name is Frida Owinga, and thank you. I see Kavilu Matha, I see Natasha Mugwe, I see Irene Wanjiko. Thank you so much for joining in. My name is Frida Owinga, and you're tuning in live here from Nairobi, Kenya. Great to have you tonight on Passion Profit Live. Passion Profit Live is a program by Passion Profit Limited, which is an organization that equips aspiring and existing business owners with skills and tools to help them thrive in business. We are happy to have you tonight. We'll just have a quick word of prayer and we'll get into what we have for you tonight. Father, we thank you for this night. We thank you for this time, the privilege and pleasure to serve your people. We just ask that you be in our midst and you just help us to understand what you have for us tonight. And most of all, we ask for your wisdom to help our businesses grow and thrive for your honor and glory. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So tonight we're going to continue on our topic of dealing with investors. I did a little bit last week because we're going to have an open conversation with investors at what is the event called? Thrive. At Thrive, that is our monthly event. It happens every first weekend of the month, and the next one is coming up on April the 7th. We are still going to be talking about how to access finance, and we have a great company coming on board called Business Partners International, but that is more on that later during the month. Today, we are going to look at who is an investor? How do I deal with an investor? Just a really general discussion, especially for those who are able to attend Thrive. This will be a good follow-up for you. Maybe you took their contacts and you're wondering, how do I get in touch? How do I get in touch with them? So I have about 7 or 8 tips that I'm going to share with you tonight, and then you can see how to follow up with the money guys. Number one, you need, like I always say, investors are people like you and me. Okay, so the key thing is, I find that sometimes when you're thinking about an investor, and of course, because they're going to give you some money, you think of them as this big hairy person. They're not really a big hairy person. They're very normal human beings, but very focused. And the key thing is that they're human beings like you and I. So the key thing is, where do you meet human beings? You meet human beings at other networking places. You meet human beings ordinarily everywhere it is that you go. And don't ever forget that you attract what you expect. So if you're in business, you have a strategic plan. Somewhere along the line, you know that you're going to need money to expand, to scale up. So you need to start developing the relationships now. So one of your strategic goals for networking should be to get in touch with investors, to go where investors go, to make friends with some. So anytime you hear there's an open conversation with financial service providers, investors are going to be somewhere, there's a pitch going on, and you can attend such an event. It's a good time for you to show up, understand what they're looking for, maybe get to meet them, get them to know you, and start developing the relationships. Relationships are cultivated, they're a process, they don't happen overnight, and people do business with people they know, and investors also give money to people they know. Yeah, investors give money to people they know. All right, so that's number one. Uh, they do number two, they do business with people they know and like. It's really interesting because just like when you're going to buy a car, you're going to buy a house, you look for a referral. When you're looking for money, you should look for referrals of who is in the market that is giving the kind of money that you're looking for. Are you looking for working capital? Are you looking for seed capital? Are you looking for expansion capital? What kind of money are you looking for, and who has it? It was really interesting to hear at the event when I think it was Frank Ogutu of Cassius said that there's about 1.5 billion US dollars looking for a home, where it can just do some work. So there's money going around, but it's looking for an SME, it's looking for a business owner who is ready, who's prepared, who can align with one of the providers so that they can get the money, so that they can give you the money. And it's not really give you, it's invest in your money. So what are they looking for? They're looking for, number one, they're looking for a business that is viable. A business that is viable is a business that has done some business and is showing some profits, is showing a record of sales, is showing that apart from the sales, there is some profit coming in. Because the reason investors put money in businesses is because they want to make more money. So they're not giving you money, they're looking for somewhere where their money can find a home and their money can be nurtured and their money can grow. So they're looking for a viable business, a business that has traction in sales and is also making some profit. They're looking for a business owner who is passionate about his or her business. So one mistake that I find sometimes people try to do is trying to change your passion to match the passion of the investor. You don't necessarily have to do that. The key thing is to know your passion, to ensure that your passion is monetizable, it's already bringing in some profit, and then find an investor who is interested in that line of work so that you're well aligned. You don't have to change to get the money, but rather you have to keep on your passion and the money will follow you. So investors are looking for somebody who is passionate, somebody who knows the business, somebody who has to show that I know this business, I know what I'm doing, I'm going to be here for it. I have my skin in the game. They want to see that. But they also want to see that you do not work alone. Who is on your team? They want to see that you have a strong team. For instance, I have a business background, but they would like to see, do I have somebody in finance? Do I have somebody in legal? I work with business owners. Do I have somebody else who does business development support so that it's not only me? Because the sad thing they always say is, what if you go under the bus? What's going to happen to their money? Remember, they're looking for a home for their money, a home where their money can stay, can thrive, and grow, and make them some more money. And they imagine that that kind of place is a place where it's already making profit, so their money is going to make more profit. A place where it's making a place where the owner is there full time. So if you're still doing a side hustle, it's not going to be very exciting for them because they're feeling like you don't have your skin in the game. You don't believe in the business enough to quit whatever it is that you're doing on the side and give this your full attention. If you're paying people, then they also understand that you know that you cannot work alone. No matter how good you are, you need other people. You need other people to work with. What else do they look for? Let me see what I have here. Um, yeah, so they're looking for a scalable, viable business, and they're looking at you to see how passionate you are. Who are you working with? Who is on your team? And then one interesting thing that came up on Saturday was they're also looking for, is there room for expansion beyond the borders? And they had this thing called Tasca. Are you even able to go just with, across the borders around where we are, like in Nairobi, where we're in Kenya, and they're saying, can you go to Tanzania? Is it a business that can be replicated in Uganda, in Somalia, in Ethiopia, or even Rwanda? And before your business can be replicated, you need to have standards. You need to have standards that things can run in one location here. And Frank said a very interesting thing. Frank is the CEO of Cassius Capital. He said that your business can run in Nairobi, can it run in Nakuru, before you even think of taking it to Rwanda, and those are other cities in Nairobi. So they want to see that this business can be, for lack of a better word, multipliable. Okay, so that, because they remember, don't ever forget, they're putting their money in your company so that their money can be nurtured and their money can grow. All right. So don't lose your passion trying to align with the investor's passion. They're not giving you money. They're looking for a business that aligns with their passion, that is viable, that is scalable and profitable, so that their money can also grow for them. Okay, I already told you that. I told you, don't lose your passion trying to align with the passion of the investors. And then never ever forget that the investor also has a passion. And like on Saturday, we saw somebody say, do they invest in fashion? And they say, no, we don't do fashion. And it was interesting to say that, because fashion is people are very opinionated about fashion. It may be trending in Nairobi, but will it trend in New York? So they want something that this particular company wanted something that they can have more control about, of how it's going to trend and how it's going to go. So it's very important to find out, when you see an investor, don't just think all investors are the same. Number one, they have their areas of passion. Number two, they have the areas where they want to invest in. I remember somebody asked, do they invest in, what do they call it? Do they invest in garbage collection? And they said, no, we don't do garbage collection. But if that garbage is converted into renewable energy or something, biogas or something, then it's another conversation, because that is something that is huge now. So they can think about it. So that's an opportunity for this person not to change their business totally, but to start thinking about how can they be innovative instead of just collecting garbage and throwing it away. How can they also do renewable energy, or what else can they do? How can they add value, to the garbage so that they can get some more? All right. So the key thing, we know that investors are people like you. They have a passion. You have a passion. Work hard to align your passion with theirs. And then the other thing you want to find out is, once you find an investor that you can align with, then okay, I'm in business development support service. I work with entrepreneurs, and there's an investor who's interested in people who work with entrepreneurs because they want to make, they want to do like social impact investing. They want to see, what we do is really to help people build businesses that can create jobs for others so that we reduce poverty. So if there's an investor that is interested in social impact investing, they can find us of interest and they can say, okay, we're going to work with you. So the key thing is, if you find somebody like that, the number one thing to do is not to call them or send them an email with your proposal. The number one thing to do is for you to do your research. Just how you do your research when you're going to buy a high ticket item, even a phone. Nowadays, when you're going to buy a phone, you want to go online and find out, what can the phone do? What can it save? What platform is it? So you do your due diligence. Who else is using that phone? How is it helping them? Similarly, when you're going to buy a car or a house, you do some due diligence. So when you find an investor, let's pretend the investor is called XYZ Capital. That XYZ Capital can give is aligned. XYZ's capital passion is aligned with your passion. Then you can go out and start finding. You can go and start finding out how much do they give per year. Because some companies, like a couple of companies, say they're looking for 20 companies. Some are looking for 15 companies. So you want to find out what is the process of getting those 20 companies. In the last fund, how many of those companies got the money close to where you are? You can go and visit such companies to find out. I saw on the portfolio of XYZ Capital that they gave you some money. I just wanted to sit and talk with you to understand how the process was, how is the relationship working. And people are normally quite open to speak with you about it, and you can strike a relationship right there, and that can even open up a referral for you. So the key thing that I discovered is that you have to do a lot of your homework to really get to know them, to understand what their process looks like. It normally takes anything from 6 to 12 months. It may take longer, doing your own due diligence and them doing due diligence on you. So it's important to find out who is on their portfolio, how is it working, is it a relationship that you would like to really get into. So that's number one. You want to do that, and then you want to find out what is the process of getting on board. Sometimes they have a program, there's going to be a pitching session. There's different kinds of way that they get people on board. So you want to make sure that you know what the deadlines are, what the timelines are, so that you fill the necessary forms and get ready. It's most likely that there will be a preliminary session where you fill a regular general form where they can filter out to see that you have adequate information. They want to see, why do you want to work with them? What kind of income are you bringing? What are the profits looking like? Do you have a team? How many employees do you have? They want to see things like that at the beginning so that they can, a quick checklist that can show them whether you're a good match or not. So when you do your due diligence and you're talking to somebody who has worked with them, you are able to get this information. Then you don't have to go about reinventing the wheel. It's extremely important to have a business plan. I think I said this last week. Don't look at giving them a 50-page business plan. Ideally, do your business plan, have your projections, and then you can do a simple, what we call you can do a PowerPoint deck for them. And the PowerPoint deck, it can show your vision, your mission. It can show, a case for why you want more money and where the company is going, how much you have made, and then one of the decks can have your projections. Remember, they're looking for a home to where they're looking for a home for their money, where their money can be nurtured and their money can grow. So it's very important to show a clear projection of how you expect that money to grow over what period of time. Um, be conservative, but don't use the word conservative because they want to see big profits. And when you say conservative, they're wondering, are you being conservative or are you being polite? So that is normally not it's a word people use around them a lot. But I was at an investor pitching event and they said they don't like that word. So I've learned, try to stay away from that word. Practice in front of someone. You can find a business mentor, other business people. Practice in front of them. See, get feedback. Let somebody ask you the hard questions that you're likely to be asked, so that when you come in, you have an opportunity to come in front of them. You are not told. You don't start saying, "I'm going to consult," or "I'm going to. I need to think about it," and stuff like that. It's your business. You need to know the numbers. If you're not a numbers person, I highly, highly recommend that you find a numbers person that can help you understand your own numbers, how to communicate your own numbers without referring to them, because it is your business. It's just like when you have your money in your checking account or in your chama or in, wherever your money is, you know how much is there and how it's growing and that kind of thing. So you also need to know about your business. So it's very important to go through the due diligence process of finding out, how am I going to relate, how will it be to relate with this person, and then get ready for it. Okay. So when you start I think I already said this, network intentionally when looking for investors. Um, you know, find out where, like I'm sure when you go to their websites, one of the key things when you go to websites of an investor, somebody that's looking that invests in other companies, you want to see what kind of events do they go to, and you're likely to see there'll probably be a newsletter. You can sign up for the newsletter. Um, just read and really kind of get to understand the person. It's so, so important, because I can't say this enough. People do business with people they know and people they like. And if when you meet somebody and you tend to know them and you tend to know their track record, and you use that in the conversation that you're having with them authentically and not in a sleazy way of trying to take advantage of them, then you find that they relax. Because like I said, they're just human beings like you. So they relax, they have a sharp intuition, but they'll relax, and they'll also want to get to know you more. What do we have here? Who have they worked with? Visit the person. Yeah, I think I already said this. So who have they worked with? Visit the person, make friends with the person. Just kind of really try to get into their head. When it comes to pitching, there are a lot of pitching videos. Passion Profit can help you with your pitching situation. What you need to do. One thing I found out is that don't try not to make a very canned pitch. Have a pitch that you can present to different people based on what it is that you're looking for and what the interest of the person is. And then what else was I going to say around pitching? You want to be careful um, not to sound canned, like you have crammed what it is that you're going to say. You need to sound natural. So practice, practice, practice. Be authentic. People can sense it when you're not being authentic, when you're trying to be fake. Be as authentic as possible as you are. Be friendly, ask questions, take feedback. One of the key things that I find sometimes irritate investors is when we're not willing to take feedback. They recommend, maybe you should have done this or you should have done the other. And sometimes it's a test to see how you respond to feedback. And then they can see, this one is a big head, this one doesn't want to take feedback. So receive the feedback graciously, and then remember, if you're pitching to them, they're likely going to be working with you. They will be giving you feedback during the process. Of course, you don't just want somebody who's going to give in money. They have to have networks. They'll have to have some expertise that they're bringing in. And of course, within their networks, there will be more expertise that they can bring in. There will be referrals that will help your business grow. So this kind of person will have a level of wisdom, knowledge that they'll be wanting to share with you. So you need to be open, for lack of a better word, you need to be humble and just receive the feedback that they're giving you. So really, that is what I believe I have for you today. I wish you could ask me questions. Does anybody have a question? I wish you could ask me questions. I like interacting with people. I see quite a number of you out there. Anybody wants to take a risk and ask me a question? Okay, it's not a risk. Yeah, because oh, I've lost this page. All right. So most importantly, just be yourself. Key thing, do your homework. You need to understand that I can't say this enough, that you are um, the journey of raising capital is going to take a while. So you need to be very well prepared for it. There's no harm in starting now. No harm, and starting now, it means get your strategic plan together. Begin to know at what point will I need money? What kind of money will I need? Who is the person that I need to get this money from, so that you can start developing those relationships early. If you think that you're going to go knock on somebody's door and get the money tomorrow, it's going to be a while. The other thing you need to do is get your house in order. Get your house in order means, number one, make sure you have audited accounts, because they want to see some sales, they want to see some profit. You want to have 2 to 3 years of your accounts ready, so that your audited accounts. You want to have your statements ready, so that these are things that they can look at, and and see that indeed this business is making some money. So it's not a question of, at the point when you need money, that's when you're running around looking for an accountant, because accountants are going to charge you money for constructing your accounts. When I say constructing your accounts, it doesn't mean cheating on your books. It simply means you have not been keeping any records. So they're going to want you to start putting your receipts together, show them your statements, put payment vouchers together, what has been coming in, how has what has been going out. So the key thing is, start now. Okay, put your house in order now. Start thinking, what kind of people should you have? What kind of organization structure should you have? I find writing things down and dreaming and dreaming is free. And you'll be surprised that as you write things down and think about it, you begin to attract those things into your life. So being ready includes you being ready as a person to meet these people, but your company also being ready to meet with these people. Okay? Did anybody ask a question yet? No, people are just watching silently. You're probably enjoying yourselves at home. So, yeah. So, that is really all I have for you, what I have for you tonight. What are some other interesting, I'll share with you some other interesting things that are happening at Passion Profit before I sign off tonight. And that, of course, it's one of the things is Profit Network. Let me see if I have the flyer here. One of the things that is happening this month at every chapter around Nairobi is the Profit Network. And this month we're talking about, is the customer really king? The first quarter of this year, we have been looking at improving our cash flows. And I always say, when there are no clients, there can be no cash. So how are we treating our customers? That is very important. That is what we're going to be looking at this month. And we're looking at, how do we manage the expectations of our clients before, during, and after? Because sometimes clients are disgruntled and we think they're mean and horrible people, but it's really just how we treat them and what we have communicated to them or not communicated to them that is creating the trouble. What are their expectations? Because if you have a place where customers come and they're happy, more customers are going to come. So we are focusing on the customer, and by the end of this month, you should be able to tell me, is the customer really king or not? I will be taking that personally throughout the month of March. So if you'd like to, if you want to bump into me, make sure you come to the Profit Network. We have a chapter on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Jumia Coffee House. This is at All Saints Cathedral Church. There's a coffee house there. And then we have a chapter on Wednesdays at News Cafe, that is in Ad Life Plaza, opposite TIS Center. On Fridays, we are at Lavington. At Lavington, we are at the Melvin Moments Tea House. We meet there on Fridays. And we also have a chapter in Mombasa on Fridays at Coffee Hut. Profit Network is a business mentoring network. And it's a place where business owners are mentored every week. We have a 3-tier mentoring system. The first tier of the mentoring happens at the chapter through a table topic, which is a strategy of how to grow your business. This month we're talking about, is the customer really king? The second tier of the mentoring happens on a one-on-one consultation with a business coach. The third tier of the mentoring happens through what we call accountability partner groups. You're partnered with a small group of 5 to 6 people who complement your business, who hold you accountable for the goals that you need to set, who ask you hard questions, who you can ask hard questions, so that you can grow your business. It's a really exciting place to be for a business owner to learn to thrive without going to class every day. And it's just a short 90 minutes every morning, 7 a.m. to 8:30. You can choose the chapter that's closest to you. And one of the other exciting things for me this month is that we're starting 2 new chapters. We're looking for business owners in the areas of Karen and Westlands. Karen, we're looking to start at the Art Cafe at the Karen Hub. And then we're looking at Westlands, Sarit Center News Cafe. And we're looking for business owners in these areas. And don't think we're looking for perfect businesses. Remember, this is a business mentoring network. So we're looking for people the people that are looking to grow, people that are willing to go through peer mentoring, sharing value, adding value to one another. So we say Profit Network wants to give you referrals, access to new markets, access to new networks, a 3-tier business mentoring system, media opportunities, and much more. We normally have good relationships with the media, and sometimes they're looking for people to show, people, different kinds of business owners to have in their network. And this is a good place. This is a good place for you to have that kind of exposure if it is one of the things that you're interested in. And then one other exciting thing that you may or may not know about is the God Advantage. This is early morning prayer every Monday from the comfort of your house or wherever it is you are on Monday morning at 5 a.m. We come together to pray because we believe that God is our help. We can't do too much without Him. And He has said, I am the Lord your God who teaches you to profit, who leads you by the way that you should go. So we come together to just join in and pray together. I really look forward to having business people on the program to share their experiences in the different spaces that we have. And I had hoped to do that last month. I really, really hope that I'm going to do that for you this month. So pray for me and let's look out. Let's look out for that. So there we have it for tonight. Remember, start the journey of looking for investors today, not tomorrow, not when you need the money, but start it today because at some point you will need money. And like Robert Kiyosaki tells us, it is wise to grow your business using other people's money. Don't try to break your neck doing it all by yourself. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. My name is Frida Owinga, live from Nairobi, Kenya, bringing you Passion Profit Live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Thank you. Have a blessed night and see you at Profit Network sometime tomorrow or next week. God bless.